Okay, you guys, so I've got another announcement, and we're going to get started with our first lesson today. I'm being moved. I said to you guys that the Holy Spirit will use our past experiences as to how He's going to use us to help people out here. And here's what's happened. With all of this stuff and I didn't realize it as it was happening. I want you all to understand this. So it's not like I'm this know-it-all that I have a total in with the Holy Spirit, because I do as I'm being told. So no, I don't know what's happening. I'm not like in partnership here with the big guy. It's not that way. I did not know it, but that video that I talked to you about, that you all didn't understand what was happening and that you were supposed to look at yourselves and you all failed. That was the end of it. That was the end of it. Because I had followed through on everything that I was told to do, I'm graduated. I was talking to the Holy Spirit last night. And from my heart, sincerely, was praying for all these people out here, praying for these pastors, praying for all the people that they're going to mislead and going to hurt, praying that the Holy Spirit would touch them in some way. And there was just an uneasiness about me. And I was like, I don't want to be associated with these people. I have no desire to be in ministry. It's not what I want to do. I don't want to be associated with these people. You see, and the funny hysterical thing was, they all believed that was exactly what I wanted. And they all believed that they were hurting me by not including me in their little clique. And I'm disgusted. I all day today I had a stomach ache. I'm just disgusted with everything going on out here. And I saw a video by someone I greatly admire and respect today. And he said they're going to be someplace, and he said, make your reservation, come so that you can learn how to, I'm paraphrasing him, I don't remember his exact words, so that you can learn how to spread the gospel or teach the gospel the right way. And when I heard that, I was like, that's the end of it. There is no right way. There is no right way. In the world, there may be a right way. But where I live, there is no right way. There's only God's way. And that sealed it for me. So here's what's getting ready to happen. The page is getting changed again. The name of the page. I only named it this name because I knew it would make Nithya and Nanda mad, because they were all hacked into my YouTube page. I knew they wouldn't have wanted any Christian name on this page that they were hacked into. So that was really why I named it this name. And it was really to spite all these pastors who thought that they were just going to step all over me. So I proved 1,000 ways from Sunday that they are not able to step all over me. Okay? That's done with now. That's done with. Now, those who got the lesson, they will move forward from this point. Those who didn't get the lesson, well, they will stay right where they are, or they will go deeper and deeper into hell. That's all I could say. Here's what's going to happen. I think I'm getting ready to name the page Christianity Done Jesus's Way, or something to that effect. Because it's all about loving your neighbor, not about abusing, not about belittling, not about pastors thinking that they are God and that they have a right to treat people any way they want. And so here we go. How does this relate to me? Well, the way I started my path off was I was healing from narcissistic abuse. Then I went into the occult. I got massively abused there. As you can tell, he's still abusing me. And he was the first person that I received spiritual abuse from. And then everything that I have experienced out here, I want you to know the egregiousness of what has actually happened here. These people were literally telling me that I was a demon. I was not a Christian. I literally sat here one day. I felt like I was going crazy. I literally sat here one day and I was like, I'm not a Christian? Did I just imagine my entire life? I went to Catholic school. I went to Christian church my entire life, except for 7 years. So the 7 years extinguishes my entire life? Is that what's happening here? Am I just a demon? Does God really not know me? Am I just a demon? This is what I was saying to myself. Now understand what was happening. I was just brought back from the occult. So I was a realized being that I had become the teachings of Nisargadatta. But I believed I was consciousness. I also believed that Jesus was consciousness too. Then when I came back to the Bible, I had to break away from those teachings. I was in a very, very fragile place. And here these people were telling me that I was a demon and that the Holy Spirit wasn't here. And then the more I pulled away from Hinduism and Nityananda, the more these demons started attacking me. And I had already learned about deliverance. And I'm saying, I need the power of the Holy Spirit to get rid of these demons. The Holy Spirit is not here. Then who have I been talking to this whole time? Have I really been talking to demons and I thought it was the Holy Spirit? This is how these people had me. They're not pastors. They're not Christians. They are spiritual abusers. And this is what this page is going to be dedicated to. Bringing awareness to the abuse that's going on by pastors in the church. And our first lesson is going to start today. I will also be teaching from the Bible still. But it will be focused on how Jesus has commanded us to behave. So there will be none of this worldly stuff here on this page. No worldly stuff here. And no one's going to tell me what's the right way to teach somebody. There is no right way where I live. So here's the first thing that I want to bring to your attention. I just saw today that Johnny Depp verdict came in and Amber Heard was found guilty. And I want you to understand, when one of these pastors covert narcissistically was attacking me and put out a call to arms to all of his followers that he was going to build an army against narcissists because I was calling him a narc. He was telling all of his people that he was getting ready to attack me, but telling everyone who was following him that he was building an army against narcissists. But I caught him because I know how these people think. I was married to one for 16 years, and then I studied it day and night. I studied the behaviors of these narcs day and night while I was healing on the dark night of the soul. The only person who knows more about this than I do is Samvaknin. That's it. So I caught him before he did anything, and I put it right back at him. So what he did, he attempted to do, was look at the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, and he blamed Amber Heard but didn't give any kind of details. Just a generic nothing, informationless nothing. That's how I knew it was a narcissistic attack geared towards me, and he was getting ready to make his move. And then at the end of that video, he told his followers, I'm calling my army. We're going to stand up against narcissism. Well, this is a narc. This is a narc telling people he wants to stand up against narcissism. See, this is exactly what Samvaknin did. Samvaknin is a full-fledged narcissistic psychopath. He's been tested medically. He's been tested. He's done the psychopathy checklist. Tested. He's got his own video out. It's called I Psychopath. And it shows how he did the test. He is a full-fledged psychopath. So what did he do? He made money off it. He made money off it because he was self-aware. That's pretty rare. These psychopaths are not usually self-aware. He was very self-aware. So he made money off of it. So he's not out here helping victims of narcissistic abuse because he cares about us. No, it's just so that he got known for what he did and he made money off of it. Okay? So don't be projecting your kind heart onto psychopaths. I call that idiot compassion. We're not having idiot compassion here. That's all of the world. We're not going back to the world. Okay? So, I put out a video to put it right back in his face. I said, let me tell you what's actually happening here. I said, Amber Heard is a malignant borderline. She's actually the abuser. And I went through all the signs and symptoms and why Johnny Depp was with her. The whole thing. Well, one of the other people that was abusing me put out a video on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard saying the complete opposite of what I said. That Johnny Depp was, he was a monster. Oh, he's got tons of demons in him. He was just a monster. No, and I don't know how to explain this to you. I heard somebody say that they are not only prophetic, but they are a seer also. This appears to be what I am. I looked at Johnny Depp and I heard one or two of the videos that came out, the court proceedings, and I get a feeling in my heart center, and I can tell if somebody's good, if they come from love, or if they're evil. Johnny Depp, I got a very, very big feeling in the heart here. He was love. He had been abused in his life. He got addicted to drugs. It was all due to trauma. Johnny Depp was probably a codependent suffering with CPTSD or something similar. Something similar. And the thing that touched me the most was that when Amber was going through one of her tirades, he would go lock himself in the bathroom and just sit on the bathroom floor. That broke my heart. That broke my heart because I was married to a psychopath, and no, that never happened with him. He came right up in my face. Okay? So, yeah, Johnny Depp was no monster. And then if you heard the other court proceedings, all the other women that he dated, he's not a violent person at all. He comes from the heart, but he's got problems. No doubt he's got some demons. Don't we all? So I want you to understand, the reason why I brought that up, I want you to understand that when I say that someone is a narc, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not guessing. I'm not guessing. So I'm going to let you listen to a small part of a video that I just located on the YouTube right now. And this is specifically for Christian, geared towards Christian pastors and the abuses in ministry. Because this is all I'm seeing out here. This is all I'm seeing. God help the people from the mystics community and the occult that want to leave out of there to come to Jesus. And they come across one of these people. You know we are in the end times, man. Try to see if I can find the video that I just had. This looks like it's it. Okay. So the title of this video is The Use and Misuse of Authority in Christian Leadership with Diane Langberg, FOCLonline. And there's going to be 3 or 4 other videos that I'm going to put in the description. And I would suggest that everybody watch these videos. Knowledge is power. And every single one of these things will help you build up your discernment. And this is what we need more than anything right now. There are so many frauds out here. And I will tell you, from years ago when I was studying Samvaknin's work, one thing that I never forgot was that he always said these narcs love the church. These narcs love the church because they feel powerful. They feel powerful. And there's a lot of vulnerable people there who will look up to them, give them all their money, have sex with them, basically do whatever they want them to do. Narcs love the church. They're drawn to it. They're drawn to it. And it's not because they love God. It's all about them. You have to understand this. They're thespians. They're actors. It's not because they love God. They're putting on a nice show. It's all about them. It's all about people worshiping them. They are the ones that have this orphan syndrome and didn't have a father when they were growing up. They have this need to be somebody important and to have people care about them. And another thing that I've seen out here that you all need to be very careful about. These people telling you that they are your father or your mother. This is grooming. This is grooming. Because once you start looking at these people as a parent figure, then you're giving away your power. You're giving them free license to treat you any way they want. And as they hurt you and abuse you and traumatize you, they will tell you it is for your own good. It is for your own good. It's to help you see the truth. It's to help you wake up. I did it because I love you. I'm your spiritual father. No, you have only one spiritual father, and that is Jesus Christ and God the Father. You have only one spiritual father. No human being on this earth you should ever be looking at as a spiritual father. You're leaving a doorway open to be abused massively. Don't ever, ever give away your power like that. Ever. So I'm going to play this video from the beginning, just a very little bit of it. And you're going to see I was shocked because what she said is actually what happened to me. Because if you remember, I said, how did all this start? It was because I corrected one of them and told them that the third eye was real and it was dangerous and that meditation helped me heal. And that's when all of them started abusing me. All of them. Because I went against their authority. Because they thought I was a little nobody. And then that's when they all started calling me a demon. And because I would not back down and I wasn't afraid of them, they just kept adding. So Vlad had 4 people from his church attacking me, plus the other pastors. Then we had 2 or 3 or 4 others join in because they're in the good old boys and the good old girls club. Okay? It's all of the world stuff. These are not spiritual people. Let me tell you something. If they understood the words of Jesus Christ, none of this stuff would have ever happened. If their position as pastors and leaders in the church was about Jesus Christ and not about themselves, none of this would have happened. None of this would have happened. And this is why I am led to teach this. This is why I am led to teach this. I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through here. So I am going to help you to build up your discernment. And at the same time, I am going to help you transcend the world. And I am going to help you understand the teachings of Jesus Christ. And it's all about love. It's not about all this hate and this worldly ego stuff. It is so vile. It is so vile. I don't want to be associated with any one of them. So let's listen to this first little bit here.
Well, Diane, good evening. Welcome this evening. It's great to talk with you. What I like to do is start by asking you, I mean, just tell us about your concerns about how Christian leaders can abuse their authority.
It's a wonderful question, and I'm afraid it's something that we don't talk about very much. I think a lot of Christian leaders are not even aware of how much power they have. And if we just stop to think about that for a minute, people who are in leadership in the Christian world are generally very gifted people. And so they have a level of power. They have power of knowledge because they often have education or knowledge of the scriptures that others do not have. They usually have verbal power or people wouldn't follow them. They have power of position when they're in leadership. And so there are various kinds of ways that they carry authority that they are unaware of. So the first thing they need to do is know they have it. And they also have to know that they have it even when they think they don't or when they feel powerless. Because people in positions of power always have power. The power becomes most dangerous when they do not feel powerful.
I mean, that's interesting because in some Christian denominations,
and that was what happened when I corrected one of them. The power gets most dangerous when they feel that they don't have power. And that's why I kept saying, how dare I go against them, the good old boys club. This is exactly what happened. And especially for these narcs, they have very fragile egos. Although they come across as being all macho, they're very authoritarian. It's their way or the highway. And don't anybody ever correct them. Well, this is exactly what happened and how all this abuse had started. And as far as from my part went, I wasn't trying to be more powerful than them. I was trying to protect all of you, as I'm doing right now. Because I don't want any of you to ever go through what I have been through on this path. The most egregious thing to me, I think, was trying their best to make me believe that the Holy Spirit wasn't here and that I was possessed. They were literally trying to make me believe that I was possessed. And no, I'm not possessed. I'm not possessed. So the good part of it was, it made me, instead of listening to these idiots out here, it made me do the research myself. And as you heard Everett last night tell everybody to go and get deliverance from people who know what they're doing, that was a dig towards me too. Because I was telling the mystics community, these people are abusing you. You could come to me and I will deliver you. So that was another dig against me too. You see, it's covert narcissistic abuse. And unless you understood the story that has happened, you would never catch what Everett was doing last night. This is why I said I've got a good understanding of who he is. The problem is, with these narcs, they always believe that they're smarter than everybody else. Until they get shown up. Like the inadequate fools that they are. Which is what happened last night, you see. Now, for all these months, all I kept saying out here was I wanted to be left alone. Stay off my page. Go do your own thing. I will do my thing. I have a very small page, as you can see. I don't even keep the numbers of subscribers on my page, do I? Because it's not about that for me. That's all about ego. You have to understand what you're looking at. That's all about ego. I don't care about how many people are subscribed to my page. You understand? It's not about that. It's not about that. So, all I kept saying was I wanted to be left alone. Leave me alone. Go your merry way. No, they refused. They refused. So one by one, I had to put them in their place. And then we came to the end, this very last video, this other day. Are they going to look at themselves? Well, no, of course they didn't. Because they're all narcs. They won't. So, I was given the okay now. It's time to move on. You see? Here's what happens. At least for me, when I go through abuse like this, I consistently go deeper and deeper and deeper into the Holy Spirit. Because if I didn't, I would just break down. Because I have no support here. I have no support here. It's me and the Holy Spirit against all of these abusers. And here I am smiling once again. Okay? So I go deeper and deeper and deeper into the Holy Spirit every single time. Every single time. And I'm constantly blessed. So a long-running statement that I learned way back when I first started on my path in the narcissistic abuse community was thank your narc. Thank your narc. Because the pain that they cause is what helps to wake us up. That is in fact what happened to me. That is what in fact started me on the dark night of the soul. Was the pain that my children caused me. You see? So always keep that in the back of your mind. No matter what you're going through, thank your narc. Thank your narc. And then go deeper into the Lord. The one thing they can't stand, see why they're all still watching my page? They're waiting for me to crumble. They can't stomach the fact that I'm not crumbling. They can't stomach the fact. They're waiting for me to crumble. And this is how you get back. You don't go back at them. You don't do any of that stuff. Don't waste your time on them. They're not worth your time. They're not worth your time. How you can get back at them the best is move on and be happy. Show them how little they mean. Move on and be happy. And so this is in fact what I'm doing. I will teach on my page my way, and everybody else who doesn't like it, please feel free to never look at this page again. And God bless you. So I will be teaching you all whatever comes to mind, that will help you break out of the personhood, transcend the world, and at the same time still going through the scriptures with you to help you understand Jesus' words, so that no narc out here can ever lie to you again. No narc out here will ever be able to lie to you again. Do you understand that? That's amazing, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? Yeah, so stay tuned. I think that is what I'm going to name the page, Christianity Done Jesus' Way. And today's the first day of our new chapter in this journey. You guys be blessed. I will put all these videos in the description. I suggest that you watch them now. If you don't watch what I put up here, then you're not going to grow, you're not going to learn, and you will be a victim. Trust that. You will be a victim. Listen, I was abused by that tarot demon for over 7 years, and her brainwashed followers consistently told everybody that I was crazy and I was the abuser. It took me 7 years because as I was fighting with her, because I wasn't going to let her abuse me and get away with it. Oh, she thought she was so slick. But as I was fighting with her, I was also healing, and the Holy Spirit was growing me and strengthening me until finally one day there was no more. I guess there was a soul tie there with her or something. That soul tie was broken, and there was no more emotional attachment to her, which meant I had no more reactivity to her. There was no more reactivity. That's what they're actually looking for, your reaction. They want to get you mad. They want to see you cry. That would be the best thing for them if they can see you cry, to know that they hurt you. See, they can't hurt me. They can't hurt me because I think they're all idiots. And they're the poorest excuse of pastors I've ever seen, and they do not represent Jesus Christ. Not even of the world. They do not represent Jesus Christ. They're preaching some kind of false Jesus. Not the Jesus I know, not the scriptures that I'm reading from the Bible. They don't represent what I'm reading in the Bible. And this is what you all need to understand. And do not fall prey to these false preachers out here. So, this is the new mission on my page, because I don't want anything even associated with being a pastor or a minister or anything like that. Nope. I'm a child of God, and that's really all I need. Okay? You guys have a blessed day. Everything will be in the description.